Welcome to this week's episode of MOAR Tech. I'm your host, Michael Amorgan, and this week we're going to be talking about something that, well, deals with dating. It's called Facebook dating. And unless you're the typical person that is kind of a creeper and you go around looking at people's Facebook profiles and then scouring through their pictures and then deciding to just message them or friend them, this is something a little different. Speaking of that, while this is different, Facebook has had a lot of issues when it's come to privacy over the past about the past year now, especially with the Academia Analytica issue where they pretty much were giving out people's millions upon millions of people's information to this one company, which was then selling that information to other companies. Then there was the whole government issues where, their advertising systems and the bots and everything like that were pretty much controlling how people viewed a particular narrative when it came to political stuff, or even things that just deal with health and general lifestyle, making people believe in a certain kind of thing or a certain way, whereas they probably should not. But Facebook is trying to change that, and one of the things that they're doing is trying to prove to the world that they can do dating right. And this has raised a number of different issues when it comes to people trusting them for a number of reasons. For starters, it's dating. This is going to possibly affect the person that we spend the rest of our lives with. Not only that, then we don't always want people to know that we're out there looking for someone. Then there's also the fact that on top of what I just said, sometimes your friends, family, coworkers just get nosy, and then you also have those friends that will just match with you just to match with you and just mess around. So it's a little I'm not sure if they're actually interested in me or if they're just joking around kind of situation. And there enters Facebook dating, which what they plan on doing with it is not having an app by itself. They are going to actually have it built in to the website or the mobile app that they already have, and it's going to be just something that you press, and it's an icon that's going to be on your profile. You press it, it opens it up, and it creates a separate profile for you. So this is not going to be something that's typically seen by any and everybody that's on your friends list or just someone viewing your profile. This is going to be something that people will actually have to go into, create a dating profile, and then look and possibly find you. Not only that, Facebook has taken the step to make sure that friends and family can't find you unless you're a special somebody. And they have this feature which they recently announced called Secret Crushes. And I believe it's where they allow either 8 to 9 of your friends for you to list them. And if they list you as their secret crush, then you two connect. Otherwise, you two never see one another. Which is a really interesting feature because that prevents anyone that you know on Facebook from ever seeing your dating profile, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. And I think that's where the secret crush recently came in, because sometimes we do have friends, or hopefully not family, but friends and coworkers, I should say. Let's not bring politics into this, okay, Salvatore Bonito? Thank you for that. But when it comes to, but see, that's the kind of thing right there that I'm talking about when it comes to trying to create a narrative for people. So yeah, let's not do something like that and make sure that we keep things clean and clear. So, and that's actually from Periscope. Wow, don't have many Periscope people that actually talk on here. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, so you may have friends and coworkers that you might be interested in dating, but they'll never know. If you're Facebook friends with them, they'll never see your profile unless they're a secret crush. So that can both work for you and against you, which is the reason why I think they allowed for that up to 8 or 9 persons for you to list. unless you have a myriad of friends and coworkers that you are kind of interested in, or maybe just like those acquaintances that you kind of have the hots for, and you just kind of added them because you're being slight creeper and stalkerish. Maybe. Not saying this for me by any means, but for you, by all means. But how does this thing actually work? So we create a profile, and for the most part, this was originally done so that when you try to make your profile, it pulls in some information, but it also gives you information to use. So the only thing that's really going to happen, and that's by default, is your name and your age. The rest of the information you can fill out yourself, and it's not going to put it there automatically. What they will allow you to do is pull in pictures from both Facebook and eventually Instagram. What they will also do is things like your About Me or information that you may have posted. Then that's kind of how they're going to fill out your bio, which you can kind of see here with this person who's in complete Spanish, Laura, 28. I do not speak Spanish very well, but something about visiting 19 something, doing something with surfing, and martial arts. Okay, cool. So let's say we're actually doing this dating thing. We may also find people that we might be interested in that are going to be either in groups or events that we have. So Facebook is making a push when it comes to their Facebook app and website on a whole. The design is going to change radically in the next few months. They're calling it the F5. So this essentially is going to make things a bit more mobile centric and mobile looking. So you can expect most of the blue of our Facebook to pretty much disappear. Everything's going to be more whitish. Everything's going to have more of a tab kind of situation going on. And we're going to, how should I say this, see more of a push for groups. Because another thing when it comes to privacy is they're trying to get people to talk to one another more and feel more comfortable doing so by having both public and private spaces called groups, which we already know as Facebook groups. So they're going to be pushing those more, and they're going to be suggesting ones that you might be interested in along the way. That being said, if you are going to an event, or you are going to do something like join a Facebook group, then it's going to give you suggestions based off of that to then see who you might be interested in one of those places that aren't your friends or just some random person, I guess. So that kind of works out. After that, it's then going to, once you've actually set up your profile and whatnot, it's going to then suggest people for you to take a look at. And this is interesting for a number of reasons, because it's going to be different than Tinder, which is probably the most popular dating app out there right now, along with also being a bit different than Bumble, but using some of the same ideas. But it seems more or less like an app called Hinge. And I say that for one main particular reason, is because when you actually go into this person's profile, well, then you're going to start to see information about them. You're going to see their cover photo, their name, their age, their About Me. But the only way to really start a conversation with them is by pressing on a photo, like it says over on this side right here, where it says, pick something from Andre's dating profile to start a conversation. So I would, hey there, hey, how you doing, Amy? That is Amy, right? Not Kira? But yeah, so you would, hey, Major Cypher, how you doing? So yeah, you would press on one of those photos right up there, or they have something where it's like, what does your perfect day look like? And he gives an answer. Hey, Lano, how you doing, man? This ship Wi-Fi horrible, though. Wait, ship Wi-Fi? You're on a ship, dude? Are you on a cruise? Wait, why are you on a ship? Are you the one that's always, that we could call him fish? But Yeah, so you'll have to press on something from their bio to then have a conversation about that said either picture or information that they did, which is very similar to what Hinge does. Uh, you can either just like something on Hinge, or you can like it and leave a comment. Oh, someone's. Thank you for the follow, Amy. Welcome to the Cookie Pack. How you doing today? I don't know why I asked you how you're doing today, because I already asked you that. But let's continue. So, yeah, so it's very similar to that, and it's kind of taking a little bit from all of the other dating apps out there in some ways. So here we have, right now, this particular set of screenshots was from the more employee side of things. So that's where they did their beta tests. And then they rolled it out over time to other countries. They started with Colombia and Mexico. Then they went to Thailand and Argentina and Canada. Actually, sorry, they started with Colombia, then Mexico and Thailand, then Argentina and Canada. And when they did this, which was when they launched more locations, which was on May 1st, they then rolled it out to the Philippines, Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, Laos, Belize, I think that was, Peru, Chile, Bolivia, Ecuador, Paraguay, Uruguay, Guyana, and Suriname. They say that it's going to eventually reach to the United States by end of 2019. So they're giving themselves a lot of leeway right there. And I'm probably going to be guessing that you're going to be seeing a number of more places in between there as time goes on. They seem to be really hitting towards the Spanish and the Asian markets, which is a little interesting. I'm a little curious as to why they include Canada in this. When you really take a look at the rest of the regions that they've touched on, it's a little weird. But I guess that's where they wanted to start off with, as a more Northern America kind of district, especially since the United States is as large as it is. And they probably didn't want to start off by states, because then people would start to lose interest, and since it's just something local. By the way, about being local, this app is going to be a little bit different than some of the other dating apps out there, like Tinder, for example, which allows you to say that you're going somewhere and then finding matches that might be there. This is going to be using your Facebook live location service. So that's going to be something that's new-ish as well, where Facebook is going to ask for your live location to then base these matches around the area around you. Granted, you can still set the areas around you to a certain amount of miles so that you can go for a wide area or a fairly short area in case you don't want to travel much. Good luck finding someone within a mile away. That's all I'm going to say. But that being said, there are a number of things that they actually do have listed. So, oh, thank you for the sub, Major Cypher. You are a part of, I haven't said this in a while, but you're a part of the cookie tray, dude. Was that the actual wording? I don't know. I don't remember. What do you want to be a part of? What cookie thing do you want to be a part of? You're already part of the cookie pack. Let me know. But yeah, so continuing on from here, we can see that it's going to say that your current Facebook friends cannot see your dating profile. You can set it to other people. Oh, the cookie jar. I like that. I like that a lot. Welcome to the cookie jar. Thank you, Amy. Now, you can show it where they I'm gonna just expand this image just a bit so you can see. They do have it where you can have it where people with mutual friends, or essentially mutual friends of people that you know, will be able to see your profile. So that can maybe help you with finding out someone that you might be interested in, that you somehow met because you went to a party, for example. So that might work out. Then you can also set your gender. And this one's a little controversial for, well, a few reasons, but one main reason is because it's not just basing it off of male or female. They have an option there called More Options. And this allows you to set yourself as a woman, a trans woman, a man, a trans man, or just non-binary, which, you know, there's a number of non-binary genders out there now. Then it's going to ask you for your current city, and then going to allow you to review your information before you do anything. So, and then once you're good with that, then you press create dating profile. Once that's done, then you're pretty much good to go. And you can start swiping on, well, no, you're not swiping on people. Well, I guess you are. But you click on the suggested persons that come up and you see who matches your interests. Which is, again, very different from the Tinder-esque way of things where you swipe left or right based on, for a lot of people, appearances, because a lot of people don't read bios on that app. I think that's a running meme online where people don't read bios. I've seen quite literal situations where people have actually put things in their bios to, you know, for the person who matches them to then say, and that almost never happens. It seems like, and it's funny because if you go to Reddit, reddit.com/r/Tinder, that's a subreddit full of jokes right there. But there was something that was a little and kind of disappointing, and this is another thing that comes to privacy when it comes to Facebook as well, because it's going to start affecting there too. Hey, Candy Credit, how you doing? Is this Kira? I have a feeling this is Kira. Who is this? I could be wrong. I know she goes by the username on WhatsApp is Sexy Chocolate, and you're Candy Cadet. So I'm kind of, oh, nope. Who is Candy Cadet? So, yeah. So I'm gonna show you guys what this thing was, and it's essentially someone's called out the Bahamas on Twitch, and it's not in a good way at all. They went on Tinder and decided that they were going to do that while here in the Bahamas. Thank you for following Candy Cadet. Welcome to the Cookie Pack. And let's go on here and take a look. So here's the what are you doing, Reddit? No, I don't want to allow notifications. So this person went on Tinder here in the Bahamas. Amy, stop being a troll. Anyway, so this person matched up with someone and they asked them, what are you doing in the Bahamas? The person who's posting this says, vacationing, what brings you here? They then say they're an escort. And the person then asks, what's your price? They then respond, $400 for an hour. $400 for an hour. Anyway, so then he asks, or she asks, do you do any foot stuff or any fetish stuff really? And so the escort asks, what do you want? They respond back with, how much to rub aloe on my sunburn while I gently cry? The escort then laughs at them, and then they say the price is for their time, not necessarily for anything else. Candy Cadet says, gotta remember, the Bahamas is not a real place, and I do agree, which is kind of funny because today celebrates the 2-year anniversary of a video that I put on Facebook, which has gone viral for the past subsequent 2 years as an anniversary post or memory post on Facebook. Actually, you know what? Let me show you guys what video it is. I'll do you guys that favor. This is apparently what a lot of people are saying is the first trailer of the Bahamas is not a real place. I don't know if you guys have seen this video before, but it's a video of someone reversing on a major highway in their truck. Mainly, and most people are guessing it's because their transmission has gone bad. But it has gone viral a number of times. Yeah. And yeah. It does this every year. But it's kind of funny that this is being brought up today. Tinder subreddit has gone ham on this, but this underscores a major pain point that's actually with dating apps here in the Bahamas, and that's because of our low, how should I put this, we have a low pool of people that actually use apps like this, that it's very commonplace to find these prostitutes, escorts, and for the most part, scammers. Yes, we have a large amount of scammers here for men in the Bahamas. Women apparently don't seem to see it as much, but guys, from apparently research and asking people, have told me we have a lot of those. So chances are, if you see a really hot girl on Tinder in the Bahamas, it's going to probably either be a scam with someone trying to send you to a webcam site to then get your credit card information, or it's going to be someone trying to ask you if you want an escort or have to have sex. Just some key tips. If you see something that seems a little fishy, it probably is. Let's see. Candy Cadet says, LMFAO, ain't no pretty girls in the Bahamas, especially not on Tinder. That's harsh, dude. I have known girls that are very well attractive to use Tinder. And granted, most of them don't stay there for long. The fact still remains that they still do that. Or at least they give it a shot. I was trying to find a way to actually say that without coming across a certain way. But say not necessarily pretty. That is not what I meant. But yeah, a good amount of them do something that we call ghosting, and that's actually a fairly prominent and apparently accepted behavior on these kind of apps, where you message someone and they stop messaging you back after maybe the first or second message, or they just don't message you at all. But they've matched with you, but just never message you back. Say I've got away with words. Let me be vague. Thank you for that, Amy. That being said, though, when it comes to Facebook, just earlier today, I literally had someone try to add me that was a fake account and that had everything was fairly recent. The profile picture was recent. The cover photo was recent. There was no real posts on it. And the only link that they linked was to just because of curiosity, I clicked the link just to make sure it was fake. And sure enough, it tried to take me to some webcam website. I wasn't surprised. I reported and blocked that account. Though I was surprised to see a friend of mine had actually tried to follow, had actually accepted the invite. So that was interesting. Wow. So Major Cypher says 2 points and that Amy is going to betray me soon. Technically Amy betrayed me just a few nights ago on League of Legends, where she said, I could have eat and just the minions and whatnot. And then she saw that I actually had a ward up, which was not necessarily meant for her, but then decided to attack me regardless. I remember, Amy. I remember. Either way, and getting back onto today's topic. Exactly, Amy's on no one's side. But back onto today's topic. That then raises the issue because these fake profiles, which are already rampant on sites like Tinder, which uses Facebook's account management system to create profiles and pull information from Facebook and Instagram for your information and pictures and stuff like that. When it comes to Facebook, which is actually the one handling all of this and having all of these fake profiles, when they start trying to create their own special dating profiles to then match up and then spam you on there, how are they going to really manage that? I think that's going to be the major thing that's going to be happening when it comes to dating and spam on Facebook. Wow, okay. Chat's going kind of ham. They say, Amy's saying, I can't support you is a thing. This is why we can't have nice things, Amy, says Candy Cadet. Then he goes BRB, and Major Cypher is saying that he's shaking his head at Amy. Amy, see, this is what happens. This is what happens when you lie to your friends. Don't worry. You still have a special place in my heart, Amy. Keep her too. Even though she decided not to join in on this episode. In good people? What's in good people, Amy? But onto the other dating apps. The reason why I have a feeling that Facebook dating will actually do better than some, but not as well as others. For starters, Tinder already has a large following and allows for a lot more features that Facebook just simply is not seemingly willing to start up with. Maybe they may happen over time, maybe they may not. When it comes to things like smart pictures, which actually reorganizes your photos on Tinder towards getting you a better match, that's a thing that Tinder has that Facebook doesn't. When it comes to actually setting anthems or letting people know what kind of music that you're into, that's a thing too that's only on Tinder. I haven't really seen that anywhere else. When it comes to showing and linking stuff from your Instagram, Facebook is going to allow you to pull pictures from your Instagram, but it doesn't do it in the way that Tinder does it. Tinder also allows you to set those locations, like I mentioned earlier, to then see, people in the location that you might be going to. And it also allows you, if you decide to pay, to, see who liked you without actually having to like them back. And I think it also gives you other options that might be outside of your search criteria just slightly, but still kind of within it technically, which is kind of weird. I don't understand why they do it like that. But also, if you pay, you get more people that, because I think there's a certain limit that you can have if you don't pay for swipes per day, and when you pay, the limit goes way up. But I think that still has a limit, though they say it doesn't. Then you've got ones like Bumble, which is a more women-centric version of a dating app. This allows women to be the aggressor in the situation. So both persons would have created a profile, but while both can like one another, only the woman can actually start the conversation. And I think a lot of women seem to sometimes forget that, because I've also seen where on the same, Tinder subreddit, that people on Bumble will then forget and get upset when people will match with them and then not say anything to them. And then everyone inside the subreddit gets on them saying, you're the woman, you need to be the person that actually starts this conversation, because they can't. But that's more of an empowering situation to make sure that, you are ready to talk to this person. So that's for a particular kind of woman, I think. One that's more feeling and willing to be empowered than those that more like to be chased. And so for that, you may feel more at home or something like Tinder or Hinge, which is the next app that I'm going to be talking about, which is seemingly more suited to and comparable to Facebook dating. And what that does is both of you, of course, create your profiles. You set these pictures, and Bumble has taken some of this stuff from Hinge as well. And so you set your pictures, and then you can you can choose different questions that you can then answer. And so it kind of puts things in different places to make it seem like it's a more engaging kind of profile. And so what the person then does is that they click on whatever piece of information, be it a picture or a comment or an answer or whatever it is, and then they like that, and then they can leave a comment or just like it and move on from there. I mentioned this earlier on inside the show. But these kind of apps work completely different than some other ones. So for example, Tinder is actually owned by the company that does, I believe, OkCupid. And OkCupid is OkCupid.com, that is also its own dating app. Now, when it comes to that is a little different as well, because that is a little bit more in depth. They try to create connections on a number of different ways. That will ask you over, I think, 300 something questions to try and get personalities to be matched properly, and they give you like a match rating out of 100%. They allow for certain pictures. They allow for very detailed biography, about sections. And they allow for some more customization and specifications when you're searching for people. Then you've got places like eHarmony as well, which was one of the biggest dating websites around, maybe about a few years ago. But, that's a hit or miss. And especially since that one's a paid website. Not only that, there have been horror stories when it's come to eHarmony and them not finding people and then not giving you a refund, even though apparently they would give you a refund. They say they would give you a refund if you don't match someone. I think it's within 30 days. And yeah, then you've got the outliers, the apps that, like, Badoo, I think was one. Anyway, there's a bunch of different, like, weirder dating apps out there that are full of fake profiles. And that's not to say that the ones that I mentioned earlier aren't, because like I mentioned, there are fake ones that will try to scam you out of information, much like these other websites, but they are just much more prevalent. I shouldn't use the phrase much more. They are more prevalent than the more popular websites, because they actually try to actually manage and curate their user base. And was curate the right word, or was it cultivate? Either way, when it comes to those other websites, they are typically a lot more shady. Sometimes the websites will try to get you to sign up to a free trial and then charge you. Sometimes they will say it's free, but then when you actually try to message someone, they are not. Then you actually have to pay for a subscription to message people. And it's things like that drive a lot of people away from these dating sites, I think. And so when it comes to this, you need to be both wary and aware. Funny, huh? I just realized what I did there. But when you're actually creating your profile and then the people that you're trying to match up with, again, if something seems shady, it probably is. If you don't see them with actually anything in their bio, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're shady. It just means that they're less interested in things, possibly, in looking. Actually, no. You know what? Let me not assume things. But if they haven't put in the effort to put in their bio, that's probably saying something right there. But you never know. Sometimes they could be in the process of setting up the profile, and they just you happen to find them. Who knows? When it comes to people trying to say, hey, follow me on here, and message me on this, that's probably going to lead you either to someone just trying to rack up followers on a particular thing like Instagram or Twitter, or they're trying to get you to talk somewhere else that's less likely to ban them, which is more likely the case when they're telling you to, like, message them somewhere else. Especially if the pictures look a little pixelated. Be wary of that. But yeah, Facebook dating, it's going to be interesting when it actually comes out. And it'll be interesting when it comes to areas like the Bahamas, where everyone is everyone's friends, and apparently many people can hit that 5,000 friend mark. Yes, Candy Cadet, Facebook dating is a thing. It's only in select countries right now. So like I had mentioned earlier on in this show, there is, before May 1st, it was in Colombia, Mexico, Thailand, Argentina, and Canada. Now it's in the Philippines, Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, Laos, Belize, Peru, Chile, Bolivia, Ecuador, Paraguay, Uruguay, Guyana, Suriname, and by end of the year, you're the United States of America. And while I was saying that, I kind of wanted to bust into the Animaniacs country's song. I had to hold myself back with that one. Candy Cadet saying that pure garbage throw the whole company away, and that's what a lot of people are considering doing. Again, Facebook has an issue with privacy. This is still something that they are apparently testing, which is the reason why they're putting it, in my opinion, in these places that they are. And they're trying to develop it before they bring it to the United States, because they know they're going to face a lot of resistance in the United States and the EU, which is the reason why the EU is not mentioned anywhere as of yet, especially because the UK and the EU, they've been trying to get Facebook to come down there to face court, essentially, and explain why the whole privacy issue even happened, and Facebook has been denying them right, left, and center and not wanting to go. They've actually specifically asked Mark Zuckerberg to go there, and he's not agreed to it at all. So, what can you do? Say the Russians are gonna get him. Who knows? But I think that's part of the reason why they have this auto profile create feature that was going to be automatically gathering up your profiles and information from your Facebook account to then make things a little bit easier for people to make these accounts and not have to worry about which information is being shown up. Major Cypher says must learn Russian. But yeah, this is part of Facebook's sorry about that. This is part of Facebook's F8 rollout, which is going to be happening later on this year. Whether it actually comes to the Bahamas or it takes a while for it to actually happen, I can't say. It's going to take a while. Here is just, some quick screenshots of how it works. So you go to your main page, like the main tab, and then it, says, do you want to join? You click not now or learn more, and learn more takes you to where you get more information, or you can go to your main profile page and click that little heart icon that's up in the top right. From there, then you see the information that we showed you earlier on. You pick whatever you are, your location, good photo of you. Then you select your match criteria. So we open that up really quick. You can see where it says open up to any particular dating ranges, locations, distance, if they have children, any religious views, any heights, which kind of person, so in terms of like women, male, non-binary, trans, whatever it is. Then from there, you can then also see, matches then come in. If you want to find it, you just click on the 3 lines on the top right hand side. It takes you to dating. From there, it'll show you the events, like I mentioned earlier, inside of it, where you can then try to find people, if you want, that are going to be going to an event that you're going to. You can then unlock it, quote unquote. Unlock an event or joining a group will make your dating profile visible to any of the other group members or event attendees who match your preferences. Then they base it off of that, say, this person's heading there, and then, show that profile. When you do that, shows all the information that they want you to see. Again, only the name and the age are actually there by default and cannot be changed. So then you can click either pass or interested. Interested then, brings up their stuff, and then you can figure it out from there. If someone messages you, there are 3 tabs within Facebook dating. There's the dating profile, which is your profile. Then there's interested, and then there's conversations. And this is where things get interesting, because, interested means that someone has messaged you. That also can mean that you can see what they're trying to say and then never respond to them. If you do respond to them, things move over from interested and move over to conversations, because now it's a conversation. It's, you and I are talking. So yeah, so you can kind of keep things separated from there. And I think that's how you're going to really find the people that are interested in you. And so this is essentially the liked section and the matched section for Facebook dating. Then from there, well, that's kind of it. And like I said, industry experts, they're kind of up in arms about it because some are for it, some are against it, and no one really knows much about it because of how limited it is inside of certain areas. And the only way that we've really seen it is at events like what happened on May 1st with demos and stuff like that. So yeah, look out for Facebook dating. It might be coming to you sooner than expected, probably by end of this year as well, maybe next. But if you are lonely and you're not willing to wait for that, there are a number of apps that you can already use and online services. Give them a shot. You never know, you may actually find the love of your life. It's happened in a number of times, and you can actually see some success rates over at, again, reddit.com/r/Tinder. You never know. That's it for this episode of MOAR Tech. Don't forget, we'll be back next week with Esports Wrap on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and with Thursdays with MOAR Tech. This show is going to be back next week, Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you've missed any part of this episode, or you'd like to check out any of our past episodes, feel free to head over to moarcookies.com. Or if you want to be a part of any of our conversations, head over to Twitter, where we are MOAR_cookies, or join our Discord chat, which the link should be right underneath this video for the most part, and be a part of our conversations. We do gaming as well, so if you want to join into any of our gaming channels or gaming groups, that's probably the right step to take. So until next time, guys, keep it savvy.